Okay, I hate intros, so let's just get into it. It is like the middle of the day. I took the day off of work because I got called in the middle of the night, so I actually have some free time. Finally get to record a video that I've wanted to record for a little bit now, but yeah, here we go. So, just for reference, I'm in my early 42. I'm 42, or early 40s. Three kids. I work well over 40 hours a week most weeks, so I don't have a lot of free time, even though video gaming is probably my biggest hobby. It really just gets put on the back burner sometimes. So recently I've gone through like kind of what I'm calling a little video game renaissance, where I've really got pulled back into video games and I'm more motivated to play them. And I kind of want to talk about why, just the games that have pulled me into that, or what I'm playing right now. Just the first two aren't really the games that sucked me back in, but they're definitely a distraction from even the little free time I have for video games. These are what's pulling me away from the games I was focusing on. One is not this specifically, but any of the Dance Dance Revolution games for PS2. Finally got the PS2 working with two dance pads, and mostly my daughter and I, sometimes my boys, we've really gotten into it. So far I'm undefeated. I'm sure that won't last long as they pick up how to play it more. I used to play that all the time back in high school, so I think that's giving me the edge right now. But yeah, it's super fun. I forgot how much fun games like that were, so I have a blast just playing it. I'm really glad that they're willing to do that with me. The other one was for the Sega Dreamcast. I got a light gun, and I have House of the Dead 2, and this is just very nostalgic for me. I remember playing this in the arcade a lot, and this plays pretty well. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of complaints. It's just very nostalgic and fun for me. I love shooting all the, monsters, and I love the graphics stuff. For me, it's just very nostalgic. I'm sure, like, for newer, younger players, it probably looks like trash, but I don't care. It's a great, quick, too. You could just play for a little while, see how far you can get, and then that's it. You don't have to, like, invest a ton of time. Okay, so here is within the last, I would say, like 2 months, or roughly around there, that, really have gotten pulled back into and motivated to spend more time playing video games. This happened back in 2017-ish when I played Breath of the Wild, and then the next game I played after that was Persona 5 Royal. That really pulled me back into gaming at the time. And then, I've played lots of good games since then, but nothing to that extreme that just wowed me that much. And I'm kind of having that experience right now. The first one I played, just because I heard it was a short experience and I wanted something quicker that I could actually, make progress and feel like I'm being productive, was Astrobot. This game is near perfect. And I've watched enough videos. I know the criticism, platformers aren't for everyone. People think it's, whatever, this, that, or the other. Sure, there's tons of criticisms. And this game's not going to be for everybody. No video game is going to be for everybody ever. That's just not going to happen. But for somebody that wasn't super invested in it, like I was interested, it looked good, but I wasn't like, oh yeah, this is a must play, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm so glad I did. This was, until another game I'm going to get to, a contender for Game of the Year. I just love everything about it. It has so few flaws to me. I actually don't think the free DLC has come out yet, but this is a game I will actually go back to play the free DLC. And I actually haven't gotten all of the bots yet, and that's something I will go back and do. I just can't say enough good things about this game. I'm not even a huge fan of like the gyro controls for video games, but even in this, it's some of the abilities that use the gyro controls, they're short. And it's not overly cumbersome, so it didn't distract me too much. And I love that this game doesn't waste your time. I loved the homage to other PlayStation franchises. I don't feel like they were just like tacked on at all. It feels very much like they belong. And it's like a celebration of all of PlayStation's history, but at the same time, celebrating this character and what they're able to do. It was beautiful to look at, so much fun to play. The levels design was amazing. I actually ranked this higher than Super Mario Odyssey in terms of 3D platformers. I loved it that much. And I love Mario games. obviously. But this game is so near perfect that I think right after Super Mario 64, it might be my favorite platformer of all time. I just loved it that much. I could do more and more, just talk about each individual stage, but I'm not going to. If you're on the fence about this game at all, I highly, highly recommend you just give it a chance. Even if you download the, it had a demo, right? Just try that and see if it's for you. You might be surprised. It's really that good. Okay, right after I beat that game, not 100%, I still have to collect some bots, but I did beat it. I started playing Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Now, Legend of Zelda is still, I think, my overall favorite franchise of all time. Persona SMT is catching up, but there's, I've been playing Legend of Zelda since the original Nintendo, so it's going to be hard to pass that up. I have a lot of love for the games, the characters, the lore. And Nintendo does a phenomenal job. Obviously, it's one of their, most prized franchises, so they always put the maximum amount of effort in. And this is a good game, but I do have criticisms. It's not my favorite. It's not even really a 2D, I don't know, top-down Legend of Zelda game. I love the fact that we finally get to play a game as Zelda. I never had a Panasonic whatever thingy, so I've never played Wand of Gamelon or any of those. So to finally play Zelda is awesome, and I do love this art style because Link's Awakening, the remake they did on the Switch, is one of my favorite 2D or top-down Zelda games. However, with this, as much as I love the short, truncated, story, it's quick. They're not bogging you down with this over, done storyline. The biggest downfall to me is the actual echoes themselves, how long it takes to switch between them. It's very cumbersome, and it takes you out of the gameplay every time you have to pull up that menu and just scroll across the straight line to find the one thing you need. It's driving me nuts. I wish they would do something that is quick and better organized, where they had the echoes divided into static things like beds or barrels or trees that you're going to use to build up, and then combat, another screen where it's combat ones, all the creatures that you collect. What comes to mind to me is, what is that? Secret of Mana, where you hit a button and a circle pops up, and you just scroll around the circle real quick, and if it's not on that circle, you hit up or something on the D-pad, and it brings you to the circle with all your medicines and potions or whatnot, and then you another one for the, so it divides them, and it's quick. So even though it's taking you out of the gameplay, it doesn't feel like it is doing it fully. I actually love that system a lot, and that's so old. That was Super Nintendo. Why can't they do something a little more modern or advanced on this? It was really tough for me. Anyways, I'm about somewhere between a quarter and a third of the way through, maybe a little bit more than a third. And I will go back to this. I actually will have time to play portable games soon. I'm going to be away from my house. So I plan on making this a priority then during that time. But it would be so much better if Zelda felt more powerful. Just the fact that she has to summon all these things to do the attacks or to, I don't know. I want to love it, but I just don't love the way that they force that on you. When she does the ability where she turns into the Link, where she has the sword and stuff, that's awesome. But it's so limited because it goes down and then you have to collect more energy. I just wish you could, I know if you could do that all the time, it would ruin it, but I'm not a huge fan of the ecosystem. The way they implemented the ecosystem, it's not my favorite. But it is what it is. It's a very solid game, and I was enjoying it. I just had more criticisms of this than I wish I would have. But there you go. So that's the second one. And the last one is what I'm playing right now, and part of the reason that this video's been delayed because every time I sit down, I end up playing that, and I'm sinking a ton of time in. I'm only 33, 34 hours in, which I know is not a lot of time for a lot of hardcore gamers. For me, to find that kind of time to put into a game is a lot. And that is Metaphor, Refund Tazio. Probably it's not a surprise to anyone that watches this channel. But, man, I'm glad that this game did not disappoint. It is really, really great. I don't want to do a deep dive into this for people that aren't into JRPGs. But for me, it's really like emblematic of what Atlus is able to do with the game. I know a lot of people are just saying it's fantasy Persona, and I kind of get those arguments, but I respectfully disagree. I've played enough Persona games, and I've gotten far enough into this that, of course, there's Atlus's footprint on it. That's for sure. It has the calendar system, and it has aspects of Persona SMT games, but I think that's to be expected, and I kind of wanted that. It is still Atlus, so I wanted it to feel like an Atlus game. But just the world they've created and the rich lore, it's amazing. I love all the attention to detail. They put so much into this game. And I do have criticisms. I won't get into all those. The one I have to mention, and this is for any game that is ever made. If I can't jump, I just never feel, I get like physically frustrated. I want my character to be able to jump. Even if jumping doesn't do anything in the game, I just want to be able to jump. And there's no jump button. You can't jump at all. And that's just frustrating for me. But I do have other real criticisms. I don't want to get into all of them here. Hopefully I finish the game. Well, I'll finish it for sure. Hopefully I actually make a review so all 50 people that watch that will know what I'm talking about. But this is not to be skipped. If you are a JRPG fan at all, which if you're not, totally fine. This is not going to appeal to you. It is definitely a deep dive into JRPGs. It's not a beginner game at all. It's not light. It's not fast. So you really have to have a love for that franchise. But if you do, this is elite. This is one of the best JRPGs I've ever played. And I guess I probably shouldn't say that because I'm only, I think, about a third of the way into the game. But I love everything about it so far, and it's very, very well done. Atlus killed it with this. Atlus had an amazing year. So anyways, yeah, guys, those are kind of the what I've been playing now. I'm really happy with the way things are going this year. There's so much negativity in the world of video games, but I found my little set of games right now that are making me very happy. And I think that's what gaming should be all about. You know, it's just so nice to find those games that distract you from the real world, give you that little break, and something that you really enjoy. So anyways, I don't know. That's it. Just wanted to share what's going on with me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.